Time for fitness columnist Micaela Whitworth. Welcome back. How are you doing?
Good. I'm a bit full, though. How are you doing?
So this was about you, really.
Well, about me, about everyone, my parents.
It's about people who, the holidays come, they work out, they're fit, but, when the plates are put in front of them, they can't resist and they eat too much.
Yeah.
And like, how many calories can you, because you were saying you might have to work out 2,500, work off 2,500 calories. Can someone actually eat that much?
Yeah, well, I had to do a calculation because I looked up online to see if there was a stat in terms of how many calories someone would consume or overconsume on a holiday, particularly Thanksgiving. And it said around 4,000 calories. Oh. This was saying in one sitting, and I was going to...
In one sitting?
Yeah, I didn't really feel that that was very realistic. So I said, I'm going to calculate what I ate, and I was, very moderate when I would have an hors d'oeuvre. I'd be like, oh, I'll just have one of that. I'll just try one of this. And it ended up being my grand total was 2,200 calories.
Yeah, really?
And that was me being mindful.
Was that notarized? Is that really the truth?
That is the truth.
Really, 20? That doesn't sound so bad.
Doesn't sound
compared to 4,000.
Bad, but if you wanted to gain a pound of fat, you would have to overindulge on 3,500 excess calories. Okay. So that, if that was me being careful, and what I'm going to show you guys is approximately, this is a modified version of, say, what I had. You'll see how quickly things can add up. And if you ate more than that, you're going to go, oh my goodness. Okay. So the first slide I have has the appetizers. So we're going to go through an appetizers, which ended up being, I had a few slices of baguette, some spinach dip, I had one mushroom cap, one bacon wrapped scallop, some deli meat. Not so much, 445 calories.
Yeah, that's a quick.
Yeah, that's only the appetizers. That's normally maybe the size of one of my dinners. So then you have the dinner itself, which I was very moderate with the portion sizes, 4 ounces.
You always claim to be moderate.
I am.
Yeah.
I had 4 ounces of turkey, which is not that much, some mashed potatoes, bit of gravy, veggies, stuffing, dinner roll, but then you add butter, then you have the cranberry sauce. 832 calories, and my plate was one of the smallest that I saw.
So you claim.
So I claim. Well, I took a photo of mine, and my boyfriend said, no, take a photo of mine because your plate looks pretty sad. It's too small. So a lot of people...
So your photo's been destroyed. It's been lost. There's no evidence.
Oh, no, I kept that. I was going to show you guys. The quality wasn't so good, though. And then there's dessert.
Yes. Uh-oh.
Yeah. So this one wasn't exactly what I had. I had 2 slivers, so I had about half the calories of this. But if you had one slice of blueberry pie, let's say, or pumpkin pie with a la mode, so with some ice cream, 550 calories. See how this is adding up?
Yeah, but I'm amazed that you stayed at 2,200 with all that.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
I was moderate with the sizes, but 2,200 in one sitting, that's a lot. Drinks.
Okay, so is that next?
That one's next. Those ones also add up. So with your drinks, so if I had, while I was hanging around, 2 beers, glass of red wine with dinner, and some champagne later on. And again, not big amounts, 420 calories. So.
I'm thinking what I eat at one of those, and it's like twice what you eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. And then if you had more than one Thanksgiving dinner, you've done that 2 times. So its grand total for me was, 2,200 calories, but I would say that was probably on the low end of what people are consuming. I mean, it depends if you don't have dessert, if you're not having drinks. So, I mean, if you did 2 dinners, you might have been at about 4,000 to 5,000 calories within a 2-day period. That's a lot. That means you've at least gained probably 1 pound. And if you're like me too, my breakfast and lunch were a lot bigger than normal as well because we were staying with family. And, we're, okay, it's happy hour, another glass of wine. So, I mean, most of us probably gain a couple pounds.
So, Micaela, how do you correct this?
Well, there's a few things you can do over the next week or even 2 weeks, depending on what that scale is saying for you. But I wanted to make it sound a little bit more reasonable. So, you need to reduce your calorie intake for one. So you need to reduce by 400 to 500 calories a day for 7 days, which might sound like a lot, but if you eat around 6 meals a day, you're really only losing about 60 to 80 calories per meal. So an easy way to do that would be to say cut your starches in half, your portion size, or any sort of sugars, eliminate sugars for the week. And that could burn off one of your turkey dinners, or at least half of the turkey dinner.
That doesn't sound so bad.
Doesn't sound too bad.
No.
It's manageable when you think about it that way. Or if you add, cream and sugar to your coffee, maybe for a few days, don't do that. Then you want to burn some calories too. So that's when you want to start hitting the gym. But again, I don't want to make that scary. So what you could do is if you commute, you can use your commute, say a half-hour walk on the way to work, half-hour walk on the way home. It doesn't matter if you drive and you're parking somewhere, park half an hour further, and then that way you're going to get that in. If you did that every day, again for 7 days, so you're getting about an hour of walking a day, that'll reduce by 300 to 400 calories, which could be another one of your turkey dinners. Or you can do, so just an hour walk at the end of the day. You could do the elliptical trainer for 30 minutes. You could do run for 30 minutes. You could do some CrossFit, circuit training. Basically think of it around, 30 minutes to 45 minutes every day. So it doesn't have to be the same thing every day. You can switch what you're doing. But if you combine those two things, you should be back to normal within the next week or two.
You're making it sound like it's all forgivable.
It is. It is. You have to indulge a little bit.
That's not what you should be telling me, or maybe the people who eat too much. But
well, you have to still be mindful. But then, I'm showing when I was feeling like I was being mindful, clearly was I could have done a little bit better. But I don't think people should be too hard on themselves. I think, okay, you know what, I messed up a little bit. And then you take the appropriate actions. But if you're doing all this all the time too, then that will also help if you're consistently going to the gym. Or you could, during these weekends, make sure you're hitting the gym for 3 days in a row while you indulge a little bit.
yeah.
And we probably didn't learn our lesson, though. We'll probably do it
again.
again.
Yeah, for sure. Micaela, thank you very much for speaking with us this morning. Micaela Whitworth is our fitness columnist here at Global Montreal Morning News. And if you did overindulge, then, as she said, take the appropriate action. And everything will be okay. Until the next time.